Mr. Hardy is representing admission of non-resident students. So who second and now in for discussion? Question? All in favor state aye. All right. Agenda. Now the approval of the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move we approve the agenda as amended. Second.
Who? Mr. Wingard? Yes. Who made the motion? Mr. Wingard, second by Mr. Harder, that we approve the agenda with the modification to the additional policy. Are ready for discussion? And the agenda has been approved with the additional policy added. Now we have our invocation.
Dear Lord, once again we come calling upon your holy and righteous name. Now, Lord, we come to you just as we are because you made us and you know all about us. We have no secret that we can hide from you, no place we can run to get away from you. So, Lord, we come just as we are. Father, we pray that whatever we do or say, let it be done according to your will. Help us now, Lord, to understand that there is no big me or little you. We are all here to do your will. Lord, as you have allowed us to honor this seat, we pray, God, that we do it with dignity, honesty, and in truth. Oh, Lord, that as we do, and where there are misunderstandings, we ask for your intervention. Lord, where there are those who refuse to listen, Lord, we ask that you let them go in your name. While we pray now upon this body, upon this board, and the school district. Oh, Lord, and in Jesus' name we do pray, and our hearts say amen. Amen.
Now we have allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation.
Davis. Notification of, media notification. Thank you, sir. Now we second.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the minutes for the May 5th and May 22nd meetings as presented.
It's been May 22nd meeting minutes are ready for discussion. Are ready for question. All in favor state aye. Now we have public comment. I've emphasized the process of the public participation in the board meeting that I'm not going to reread it again. I believe that everyone is familiar with the process. We have 7 participants, and typically about 3 minutes each to present your presentation. And please be mindful of the way it's keep it in a professional presentation, please. The first person that we have upon us is Ms. Christine Johnson. Ms. Christine Johnson.
My name is Christine Johnson. Alumni 1985 class of Scotch Branch Middle High School, Somerton, reason why I am here today to represent our Scotch Branch Middle High School 2024, we had honor classes. This year, we do not have honor classes. 2024, we had it. It wasn't on their IGP. And myself and some more parents, we went together and talked to them, and they got it straight and they changed it. This year, on their IGP, it's not on there. And when I went and talked to someone about it, they said they would let me know, but they should have already had it in place for August. It should be already in place, not wait until now and then change it back again, saying we don't have the honor classes. And I would like to know why.
Is that something, Dr. Johnson, that the curriculum person can get back with Ms. Johnson on? The curriculum person will get back with you on that.
Okay.
All right. Next person we have is Ms. Selena Black.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm here from Summerton, South Carolina. My daughter just graduated Friday from Scotch Branch High School. I'm here in the matter of early graduate and class ranking. My daughter ranked number 3 in her class, was bumped down from number 2 originally, salutatorian, due to an early graduate. The young lady that ranked highest ranking, she was originally the valedictorian. Me and another parent, once we found out this information, we kind of went to the principal, and then we came up here to the district office and spoke with someone trying to get this matter sorted. On graduation on Friday, I feel it was I want to speak to someone regarding this class ranking situation that's still not settled, because on my daughter's official transcript that I received, she's still at number 3, which is she's supposed to be number 2, and I feel like how the manner was handled. She was given a title and not her official ranking that she earned. And per the school's policy that you guys issued on November of 2023, the last policy that the district uploaded, as far as early graduates, have to be excluded from class ranking. So if she was supposed to be excluded, even though she ranked the highest GPA, she's an early graduate. And also, my next little issue with that is they let her speak. The other young lady that ranked the highest ranking, she spoke at graduation on Friday and was very disrespectful, I feel, to my daughter. They were best friends, and this caused my daughter to lose a friendship in the midst of all of this because the policy was not followed how you guys had it stated. So I would like for someone to reach out to me because I need this fixed before her transcript gets to her college that she's intended to go to in the fall. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Black. Next, we have, pronounce your name correctly, Ms. Pugh Williams.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Katrina Pugh Williams. I have a daughter that just graduated Friday from Scotch Branch High School. She has had the number 1 spot since 9th grade. She is the official valedictorian. Just like Ms. Black said, I went and I found the policy, which is from November 2023. There's no revisions, amendments, or update. The school doesn't have a policy that's standing right now. So according to the Board of Education, you go by the district policy. The district policy says any student that is graduating early is to be excluded from the class ranking. If they are included, they must complete 8 semesters. There is an early graduate. If she's graduating early, there is no way she could have completed 8 semesters because she has skipped a year, so you say. My daughter is going to be attending college in the fall. She already has an associate's degree, so she's furthering her education. And on her transcript, it has her listed as number 2, which is the salutatorian. This is going to keep her from getting tons of scholarships that she can receive to help her further her education with the saying salutatorian. We did speak with someone, like Ms. Black said. We got the title situated. We were told that the ranking couldn't be changed, but I'm not understanding how could it be listed in the policy that it can be excluded and then be told that it can't be changed. The policy says the student can be excluded. We're being told that it can't be changed. Something that's here in black and white, if it's in black and white, it's a way to have it done. So I would like someone to reach out to me so we can get this fixed before she goes to college in August. Thank you.
Next, next we have Jesse Cave. Jesse Cave, I guess. Jesse Cave.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I won't be long, but I will be strong. I feel, for the record, my name is Jesse Cave, Jessie, last name is Cave, Cave. I'm a proud 2014 graduate of East Clarendon High School. Over the past year, I've witnessed incredible achievements within our district with our students, from our FP DeVos completers, all the way to our valedictorians that are graduating with high honors. And I want to say that it's evident that our schools are making a positive impact on our students' lives, that I've seen students transform from struggling individuals into confident, successful learners. These accomplishments deserve recognition and a celebration. However, it is with great concern that I must address the overshadowing issues that have emerged. It seems that there's a small group within our local delegation that has taken it upon themselves to dictate the narrative surrounding our school district. They have been vocal about their demands and criticisms, yet just days ago, I didn't see any of them at any of our graduations. Not one person offered congratulations or support to our students. This raises serious questions and their commitment to our school and our community. As members of the school board, I urge you to remember your primary responsibility. You work for the people of Clarendon County, not the local delegation. You serve the parents who wake up every day to ensure that their children receive a quality education. You represent the dedicated staff, the bus drivers, the teachers, the cafeteria workers who are committed to nurturing our students. It is these individuals, not the local delegation, who deserve your focus and support. While every district has its challenges, it is disheartening to see that this small group overshadows the positive developments occurring in our schools. The recent decision to allow the county to control the budget, we all know, that was stupid, but we all know that funds aren't missing, progress is being made, projects are ongoing. Yet where's the accountability to that? Why has no one stepped forward to clarify the truth? As you consider policies and procedures that would grant the delegation more power over our board, I implore you to reflect on who you truly represent. It is not the local delegation that has the authority to determine who sits on this board. It is the community that elected each and every one of you. We, the people, have the power to vote you in, and we have the power to vote you out. I don't understand. Let me just say this. It is essential that the decisions impacting our schools remain at the hands of the community, not a select few with their own agenda. Let us remember that our children are thriving. Our parents are getting engaged. Our community is strong. We must trust our school board members to prioritize time. Just remember who you work for. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Andrew.
Good evening. My name is Angel Reed.
Good evening.
And I would just like to say, as a professional who works with at-risk youth in our community and their families, and also a lifelong citizen of Clarendon County, I just want to say that I appreciate the alternative educational methods that are being offered in our district for our School Start students in lieu of expulsion, or also in lieu of them being absent for long periods of time during due to medical or mental health reasons. The different online alternatives that are being given is really, really helping our students. I believe that although we have some room for improvement, that these alternative educational methods are giving us, that we are doing a better job at meeting the needs of our students, meeting the students where they are, and also limiting the criminalization of behavior and mental health issues. In the past, I've seen where students with behavioral and mental health issues end up being kicked out of school multiple consecutive years behind each other and not getting the needs, their needs met for education, which is an issue for them, their families, and also us as a community. So I am glad to see that those things are changing within our community, even though we have some kids who do have some behavior issues and may not work well in a standard or a regular classroom setting. You giving them an opportunity to still learn and to still reach their goal of receiving a high school diploma. On this last Friday, I did attend all 3 graduations, and it was great to see approximately 350 students in our county who graduated with their high school diploma. I personally know at least 10 that would not have made that, would have been very hard for them to reach that goal without those alternative educational methods, without them being allowed to do online school at minimum, through their behavioral or other issues that they had going on. And I would like to thank you all for giving them that opportunity to be able to realize their goal of graduating high school and becoming productive citizens within our county. Thank you.
Thank you. Kevin Johnson. Good evening.
Chairman and school board and Dr. Johnson and your staff. Let me begin my remarks by just thanking you for serving as a school board member. I sat in that seat for 12 years, so I know what you're going through. But let me say this, and you all know this. We have a good school district. We have a good school district. Our school district is the envy of a lot of folks in other districts, large and small. Our kids are excelling in education. They're winning awards and scholarships. We don't have a lot of shootings and crime. We don't have bus accidents. We're in good financial shape. We have a good school district. And it disheartens me to see the top leadership of our county disparaging our school district because of personal reasons. I, like Mr. Cave, and you all know this, you all are elected. You answer to the people. You don't answer to the delegation. When I was a delegation member, I appointed 6 of y'all out of the 9. Not one can say that I've ever come to you and say, do this or don't do that. Other folks I've appointed in other positions. Our job as a delegation is to appoint you, you take your oath that you swear to, and we get out the way and let you do your job. But this is just, it's embarrassing to me everywhere I go across the state. What are y'all doing? Let's cut it out, y'all. I'm the one that filed a bill that passed that made Clarendon County have one school district elected for the first time. And the people elected you all to govern the school district. The only people in this whole county, 30-something odd thousand people, 9 people governs the school district. And I'm gonna tell you something else before I take my seat. You got one hell of a superintendent. If you don't believe me, ask the other superintendents across the state about Sean Johnson. Yeah, we have people leaving. People leave every year, and people come in. That's part of a school district. We're probably the biggest employer, the largest budget, but we are the ones that have the toughest job. We have to educate our children, and we have to educate whichever child walks through that door, regardless of what issues they have, and we're doing a great job. We're spending too much time trying to fire the superintendent, too much time trying to answer frivolous FOIA requests. Behind you, it says unified as one. Where's the unity? We got a good school district, we have good people, and our children are excelling. Academically, athletically, extracurricular, what more do we want? These kids are going to school doing great things. And I too was disappointed to find out that we have all these critics that always never have anything good to say about our school district. Where were they when our students were graduating the other night? Do your job. You were elected to govern the school district, and that's your job. And I know I'm getting kind of excited, but I took this job serious. Mr. Shorter, you and I worked together. We never had, when I was there, Dr. Ramsey, Dr. Weinberg, Mr. Tindall, Dr. Waller. No superintendent has ever had to face the disrespect that our current superintendent is facing now from some of our board members. You all are elected to govern the school district and nobody else. You answer to the same people that the delegation answered to. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. George Price.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen of the board, Dr. Johnson, my belated condolences to you, Bobby, losing your mother. I know the feeling. Again, I want to echo what Mr. Cave said and what former Senator Johnson said. I travel around the state and I hear things being said about Clarendon School District that is not true. And they say, how you know it's not true? I said, because I am a product of Alkaloo Elementary School, Walker Gamma High School, and I graduated from East Clarendon High School on June the 4th, 1971. So my entire life is around Clarendon County. I would also like to say that service is about love and love is about service. Now, I'm going to say this and I want it to go viral. I call our senator, Senator Zell, on April the 1st. And he looked at his phone, put it back in his pocket. I continued to call him, and on the 5th of June, 5th of May, he answered this phone. And so again, I have copies of that communications because number one, if I call you about something and I'm your constituent, then you should answer me. Whether I voted for you or not, you should answer me. Now, I was born in Alkaloo. Neither one of our delegation were born in Clarendon County. Last time I remember, Alkaloo is in Clarendon County. So again, I commend y'all. Y'all serve the people. I ran for the school board. I came up short. I'm not mad. I'm here to serve you as much as I can. I know the rigors of being a school board member and a school board chairman because I served for 25 years. And I thank y'all for allowing yourselves to be servants. I also have, Mr. Chairman, communications from my son, Dr. Adrian Fryson, about he was communicating with someone in the district. I don't get involved in what he does. But he said, Daddy, will you please present this to the chairman when you go and speak to him? So I'm going to hand you this to Mr. Chairman, and I thank y'all again for allowing me this opportunity to speak. God bless.
Now we are down to the Board of Trustees. First reading of policies BC, Board Member Resignation. Well, let me verify. You all did get a copy in your email, correct? Huh? Yeah. Huh? You didn't get a copy in your email? So you're still not getting your email? Right. Will you get with Mr. Garbo before tonight so we can find out what's going on? But everyone else got a copy, right? Okay. Okay, policy BBBC, board member resignation. Policy BBD, board member removal from office. Policy DD, funding proposal, grants, and special projects. Policy EEA, student transportation. Policy EFE, competitive food sales vending machines. policy GBAA, sexual harassment and retaliation staff, policy GBAC, discrimination, harassment and retaliation, policy BGD, policy process, board review, and administrative rule. That particular policy is just to emphasize the reviewing of policies. And the last one is the CCSD grievance form to be added to the policy GBK on the website. Policy JFAB that was added at the beginning of the meeting that dealt with out of resident students. One of the things I would like to emphasize, and Ms. Black already gone, but it talks about following policies. I get criticized because I talk about policy. That's fine, I can handle that. But policy BGBGD, board policy process, board review of administrative rules. This particular policy gives us the guidelines of our duty as board members sitting on this board. And it is our responsibility to develop, adopt, and revise any policies that need to be updated to make sure when we govern, we make decisions, it's on the latest law or statutes that have been placed before us. So as board members, it is our responsibility to make sure that our policies are updated at a frequency that is current. Therefore, when we make decisions based on the latest policies there are. So that's why I would like to emphasize, that's why we are including the policies that may have been overlooked by the good policy committee that pull all the policies together when the consolidation happened. I commend them for that. So I just want to make sure that why we doing what we do is making sure that these policies are updated. And when doing my review, that's why I want to bring it to the board's attention, because it can't be John Bonaparte's. And I brought it to your attention that these policies were missing the main policies. And then in order for an administrative rule to be in effect, you must have a main policy. So that's why these policies were just brought to our attention so that we would have our policy manual updated. Okay. So I put before you these policies, and as it says, the first reading of these policies. Are there any additional questions or anything before we ask for a motion?
Appreciate that committee that got this up and went over that one.
Yeah, the committee that was composed of Mr. Land, Ms. Jones, Mr. Hardy, and myself. And we've committed to meet till we get all policies that need to be updated. That's what we are charged to do. And we have one more group of policies, and the reason I didn't want to include all of them is to make sure so that it wouldn't be an overburden of policies to read, to make sure we understand. And most of them are more grammatic than anything, for the most part. Do we get a motion, or the policies died? If we don't get a motion, the policy died, and we won't have them.
On policy JFAB, the one that we added, it does not have the change in it. I
Yes.
don't know exactly how
Yes,
it
sir.
should be changed or worded.
Typically what happens is, now that we have been given the policies prior to the board meeting, we've all probably have looked at them, reviewed them. And then if there are things that you would like to recommend or that you see that need to be changed, then you would bring it to our attention at this meeting. Okay. And then on the second reading, all changes would be included and transcribed so that when we submit it, it'll be to the recommendation, then we'll vote on those changes.
I understand. So if you look at the policy, JFAB, the one that we just passed out, if you look down under tuition, it's about 3/4 of the way down your paper. It's got I think it's just out of place. It says, however, the district will not charge tuition to students in the following categories. I think the first two categories there are out of place because it kind of contradicts what it says in the tuition that's listed above. It's on the, look underneath tuition and come down to where it says special accommodations. It's the statement right above special accommodations. It kind of contradicts what the tuition is.
So from your comment, what typically happens, it may not be right, what typically happens now that you have brought that to all of our attention, then now we'll reread it to make sure what you're offering to eliminate that statement. And then on the second reading, either we would modify what it says or eliminate, delete it from the policy before the second reading. Is that correct? Okay. You've heard the explanation on the policy revision.
I make a motion we accept these for the first reading.
It's been moved by Mr. Hardy, second by Ms. Jones, that we approve the first reading of said mentioned policies. Are we ready for discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I want to point out something about policies BBBC, board member resignation, and BBBD, board member removal from office. I've had some questions by constituents about why the legislative delegation would be the one that appoints for the remainder of the term of any member that leaves for resignation or removal. That was in the original statute creating the district. It states in there, Section 2, Paragraph B, in the event of a vacancy on the board occurring for any reason other than the expiration of a term, the vacancy must be filled for the remainder of the unexpired term through appointment by the county legislative delegation. So this is not a decision that we made. It was a decision that was made in the legislation.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. All right. So we ready for, we already asked for the discussion. Now a question. All in favor state aye. All opposed? Ayes have it, and the first reading with the needed legislation pointed out has been approved. Office of Superintendent.
You're skipping overnight field trips. You need overnight field trips.
Johnson. Overnight field trips.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, in the previous meeting last month, you all approved for Upward Bound to go for their summer enrichment trip to Chicago, Illinois, but that needs to be changed to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and I'm asking for approval.
It's changing the location, right?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the overnight field trip for Upward Bound to Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
It's been moved by Mr. Land, second by Mr. Shorter, that we approve the field trip with the modification of location. Are we ready for discussion? Are we ready for question? All in favor state aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, and that change has been accepted, Dr. Johnson. Now, Office of Superintendent.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board.
Good evening.
This is the monthly financial report for April for the general fund. Received from local sources, $604,919.40. Year-to-date, $14,282,177.95. collected from the state, $2,835,050.26. Year-to-date, $24,464,872.39. Transferred funds from EIA to the general fund, $1,667,503.78. Year-to-date transfers, $3,394,066.78. Posted indirect costs for the third quarter, $57,898.03. Year-to-date, $120,805.77. Total posted revenue for April, $5,165,371.47. Year-to-date, $42,262,422.89. Are there any questions on the revenue? To summarize the expenditures for April, $3,891,663.43. Year-to-date expenditures as of April 2025, $36,260,201.35. Are there any questions on the expenditures? Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board, Superintendent Johnson. I'm before you today to give you the update for the Early Childhood and Elementary Department. Your updates included information about our summer reading camps that we have going on within our districts. They're taking place at Manning Elementary School and Rosewilder Elementary School. Our 5 or 6 students that score does not meet in ELA in 3rd grade at Walker Gamble all had good cause exemptions, so that's why you do not see their school listed for summer reading camp. Also, I highlighted a meeting that I had with my instructional leaders back in April, and we talked about curriculum and instruction, assessments, and just preparing for the upcoming school year. And so the feedback that I got from that meeting is what's going to be used to guide my work over the summer as we prepare for this upcoming school year. Do you have any questions of me at this time? Thank you and have a great day.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board, Dr. Johnson. In your packet, you have the update for secondary. Just to give you a quick synopsis of what's going on the 30th, we had our SAVIS, which is our textbook adoption that you all approved. We had K through 8th here, receiving professional development on the textbooks. Also, the APIs of the elementary, middle, and high schools are working along with me to complete the curriculum guides for K through 12 due to we have new math standards. Hopefully, those will be completed by the end of the summer and uploaded on our website. Also, on today, we had a district office full of individuals for our Gear Up. I don't know if you all are familiar with Gear Up, but we are one of the 7 districts that is part of a $35 million grant, and our students are given the opportunity to be exposed to college and receive feedback and information on what to prepare for when they go to college. But we also are going to do a summer enrichment program for our rising 7th and 8th graders, along with our 12th graders, to bring parents in to let them know what to be expected of middle school, as well as our 12th graders. We're going to bring them in to make sure they understand what FAFSA is and let the parents also understand how important that is to apply early for college. Also, I applied for a $50,000 grant with Engaging Creative Minds. That is at Rosewilder Elementary. That is for K-5 students. It's only limited to Rosewilder due to the fact that the grant only allows 100 students. But it's using arts to explore doing curriculum of ELA and math. And our students love it. It's all hands-on. So that's another program that I will be supervising over the summer as well. And last but not least, I'll be working with the State Department. We have 2 schools that have been identified as the Palmetto Math Project. And what that means is Manning Junior High and Scotch Branch Middle. Due to our 8th graders not doing so well on SU Ready, we received over $400,000 And I'm going to make sure that we increase our intensity on tutoring in our middle schools. And so I'll also be working with that funding to make sure that we increase our math curriculum in Scotch Branch Middle and Manor Junior High School. And that sums up the secondary updates. Do you have any questions, comments, or concerns? Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board, and Dr. Johnson. As you can see my little notes here, this is kind of how my brain works, but I'm going to try to reel it all in and get through this. Summer is a busy time for food services. I'm in the process of working with contracts, renewing contracts, putting some contracts out that have expired. We currently have milk, bread, food, which is Cisco has our contract right now. We have ice cream contract, smallwares, chemicals, and produce. So those are what we got, what I'm looking at now, and getting all that set for another school year. Okay, beginning in the morning, June 3rd through July 8th, we will be starting our summer feeding programs. We operate under something called SSO. You've probably seen SSO, and you've probably seen some SFSP. We operate under SSO, which is Seamless Summer Operation. Basically, it's just extending our program like we normally operate, breakfast and lunch through the summer. The SFSP is a program that's funded through DSS, and it's a lot more complicated. So we will have, we have 7 locations open across the county. We have to kind of base it around where we're having activities in the schools. I've been doing this is my 34th year, and it's all been right here in Clarendon County, and we've never been able to really reach out a whole lot. I could not get the kids to come in unless they were involved in school programs. But this program we have to allow, we have it, we have some sites that are prep sites. Rose Wilder is a prep site, which means that's where we're doing the actually cooking of the food, and they'll be taking care of any students that may be at Scotts Branch. And keep in mind, any child from any county, as long as they're 18 or under, can come. They do not have to be enrolled in our district. So Rose Wilder's taking care of Scotts Branch. We're cooking at Walker Gamble, and they will take care of any needs or children that are at East Clarendon. Manning Elementary is a prep site, and we will transport to MECC for that, and then Manning High School will be a site. This year, I've decided not to offer breakfast at Manning High in East Clarendon. Last year, we would serve like 4 students one day, 6 one day, and financially it just did not, you know, you're paying the staff and transportation to do that. Not that those 4 kids weren't important, they were. And if there is a need that someone contacts me that we've got some students that are interested, I'll go in, resubmit my application to the State Department, and we'll open those sites up for breakfast. This is a many moving parts, so what I submit can change as we go, okay? Last summer, we served 4,126 lunches and 2,185 breakfast meals, okay? Our USDA reimbursement for April was $289,246.82, okay? You hear me talk about reimbursement. What that is, the child has to, we offer 7 different components to the meal. They have meat, bread, 2 fruit, 2 vegetable, and milk, okay? The children have to take 3 of those seven offerings, and one of those 3 has to be a fruit or vegetable, because we're always promoting vegetables, okay? So when you hear me talk about reimbursement, what that means is when our kids come through the point of sale where the cash register's at, she looks at their plate and she acknowledges that that child has what they're supposed to have on their lunch tray. They can have 7 things or they can have 3 things, okay? All that, and then at that time, at the end of the month, we file for reimbursement. So when you hear me talk about reimbursement, that's where that originates from. And just so you know, lunches we reimburse $4.54, and breakfast is $2.84. So we have to really do our job to serve a kid for for $4.54 when they can get 7 things, but we're doing it. We're doing it. I pulled a quick record just to kind of see. I like to look at my numbers and keep up with my numbers because that's my job. And at the end of April, we're about $125,000 to $125,000 more at the end of April as far as our reimbursement revenue coming in than we were last school year. I definitely am not going to go below. I don't really like to settle for the same. I always like to see increase. We feel like we're doing our job. Okay, I've also applied for fresh fruit and vegetable grants. I've always had them at Walker Gamble and Rose Wilder. I think in the Manning area, for whatever reason over the years, it just didn't kind of go. Maybe, so this year, I really kind of maybe didn't give anybody a choice. I wrote the grants for all elementary schools in our district. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. And if we get that fresh fruit and vegetable, that gives the kids an offering, and like the teachers normally pick it up at the lunchtime, excuse me, take it to the classroom, and then there's a little bit of talk about what this fruit or vegetable does, and then they're able to eat it. The teachers can eat that with them. It's nothing that goes home, and it's all based on that grant. I think it's about $50 per child that they allow for that, okay? As always, I appreciate your hard work and dedication to both staff and the children. Anybody got any comments, questions, comments? We good?
Ms. Phillips,
yes, sir.
Dr. Johnson asked you to look it over because there may be things in there that we as board members may not be familiar with, but we want to make sure that.
I will. I always look for policies that pertain to school food services, and when we consolidated, there was a couple that I found that we weren't didn't have in place. All that's in place now. I will review it again. From my understanding, nothing's changed with it, so I stay real familiar with those policies that affect food services.
Okay.
And Mr. Chair, members of the board, we because some outside vendors wanted to come into our district, the previous board approved this same policy, and so when we submit it, sometimes the School Boards Association, they don't upload the policy. Right. But we've already had this policy done because of the outside vendor, and the previous board approved those changes that were recommended to us by Ms. Phillips.
Right. Yes, sir. Good. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Donald Davis doing a facility update today. I'll start off with the Walker Gamble Elementary School build. We are still on progress from what I'm talking with, everything moving forward with that project. Speaking with Thompson Turner and the construction crew there, as far as the building goes, we're on path and everything like that. There has been some concern about the road work portion of it that we're doing. They're talking with the State Department just to make sure there doesn't seem to be anything that's going to hold us up from still opening the school. So it's just a matter of getting that road work completed and getting it done. I am going to be going to the county board meeting on June 9th, as I've requested potential use of C funds, which is gas tax funds, to help pay for some of that road work and some of the right-of-way expansion and stuff such as that. Mr. Lyndon Anthony's been very helpful in that whole process. I was a little behind on that process as I didn't realize that was something that we could take advantage of. But once it was brought to our attention, we made sure to reach out. And I mean, like I said, we're trying our best to go through with that. And I guess the worst case, they could tell us no, we're still within budget. So we're going to try our best to see if there maybe can be some potential to be helped with that, with those C funds and things such as that. So I will be attending the county council meeting on June 9th for that, and also to answer any questions that they have regarding our lost funds. Kind of the East Clarendon Rose Wilder rekeying, I felt like that was a little strange thing to put on my update, but the reason for that is this allows us to get all of our schools on one keying system, which we have a key cutting system so that we can provide keys as needed for our different areas without having to do ordering through Dormicaba for Rose Wilder or having to go to a locksmith or something like that for East Clarendon. It just kind of really cleans that up. It also kind of lets us refresh our keying system so that those that may have left and keys didn't ever come back, we're able to kind of refresh that system and start anew. And just kind of redo things. So that's kind of what that is. That's a plan for me, if approved by County Council, of our lost budget. I've already walked through with our representative from Best to get that forward. The really good thing about Rose Wilder is when it was already done on Dormicaba Best small format. So that's just core changes. That's just going through with a control key, pulling a core out, putting another one in. So actually that's something we can take care of as district staff ourselves and just purchase the things. East Clarendon's a little bit more because there will be some minor hardware changes and stuff like that for the small format doors and stuff. Most of those are mortise locks, which would just be cylinder and core changes, but there are some actual pieces of hardware that would need to be changed out. Not as extensive as we had at Scotts Branch, but there would be a few items that we did. And once we do that with the building of the new Walker Gamble, all facilities, including the adult education facility, will be on our one keying system. We have a Grandmaster key for district staff, maintenance staff, and then also building masters for principals and custodians, and then individual keying systems for teachers or the areas that different individuals need to be. The Manning Junior High School floor cafeteria, when we did our walkthroughs, some could see we had some expansion joint issues where some tile and stuff were broken. That has been fixed in the cafeteria area as well as down the hallway. We had a company called Custom Floor Creation Flooring, I think it is, he's out of Manning. Mr. Mike Bush, he came in and did the work for us, did a good job. Got a couple more areas that of course, we can start to see it. That's just something we need to start taking care of as we can. It's not a major issue. It's in multiple schools, but that's just something as we see we have extra funding for that type of thing, we're going to start knocking out and getting in front of, so we don't have that same type of flooring, tripping type hazard show up again. So just trying to stay in front of that and get that done as much as possible. I was reached out to by Clarendon County zoning about the old Spring Hill School. I guess it was grown over and things such as that needed to be cleaned up. There was some concerns from there, so we went ahead and reached out to Ricky's Tree Service. They gave us a quote that was within our procurement guidelines that we didn't have to get any more, so he's going to go and he's going to mulch it up for us this week, get it cleaned up. Once we can get to the building a little better, we may have to go in there, make sure some doors are shut, make sure some windows are covered, and everything such as that. That was, I guess, an overlook on my part. I didn't understand that portion, but we appreciate them reaching out and working out with us, and we're getting that taken care of as soon as we can. We're working on that, and Mr. Ricky actually called me on Friday, said he would get that done this week. We're on, of course, our busy time of the year is starting. Summer cleaning is getting started in our schools. Even with Walker Gamble, we're being as careful as we can in case in this construction in the next 2 months something keeps us from going. We are going ahead and preparing that building as well as we can in preparation if for some reason the move cannot happen in July. So we're just trying to be vigilant on that and make sure that if there is a hiccup, we're ready to go. At this moment, like I said, I have not had any issues with that. East Clarendon softball lighting. First of all, I want to say congratulations to the Lady Wolverines on their win of the 2A state championship. Congratulations to them. Even some weather couldn't hold them back. So congratulations to them. Very proud of them. And we are be starting that project to get that light replacing this month. So that should be starting here in the very near future. I'm actually going to reach out. I meant to reach out to them today, and I got jumped around the district, so I'm going to reach out because we said the beginning of June. So I'll confirm that timeline, but we're supposed to be getting started with that in the next week or so. Other than that, we're just going along. We had a lot of movement the last couple of weeks just trying to keep up with award shows and graduations. I think I've moved 10,000 chairs around this district the last 2 weeks. But, you know, that's part of it, and we're here to support our students in every way we can, celebrate their accomplishments, and make sure that people know what Clarendon County is doing. So that even though sometimes legs for a good night's sleep, it's well worth the work. Any questions or concerns?
Yes, sir. You have a good track record of your keys. You mentioned the keys when you initially started. In the event if I say I had a key, you keep the record how many times I lose my key?
We're trying to do that. That's something that's being established. If I've gotten started into this, that is something. All three districts kind of had, of course, you know, sometimes things get put on the back burner, not trying to say anything negative, but that is something that we need to get better at, and we're trying to improve. It's why we rekeyed Scotts Branch this year. is for that refresh. We got some money from the state through a safety grant, so that gave us some money to be able to do that. Hopefully, we can get some more money from the state for these type of safety grants, and we may not have to use lost money. But right now, that's what we got. That's what if we can move forward on that and get it done, then maybe we can use, if those opportunities present themselves, maybe we can use that for other objectives and things such as that. But that is something we're trying to make sure that we're emphasizing in the schools, that we need to make sure we're keeping our schools safe, that we're bringing our keys in, turning them in, and then also some accountability if things are not. Any other questions or concerns? Thank you.
Now we are down to executive session. Recommendations, the report on employee matters, administration, and employee grievance, and student release.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion we go in executive session.
Been moved by Mr. Shorter, second by Mr. Lawson, that we go into executive session. Discuss recommendation, employees matter, administration, employee grievance, and student release. Are we ready for discussion? Are we ready for question? All in favor state aye. Aye. And we are now dismissed for executive session, so we'll be right back, citizens. It's been moved by Mr. Fleming, second by Mr. Hardy, that we come out of executive session. Are we ready for discussion? Are we ready for question? All in favor state aye. We are now back in open session. Thank you all. Any action items from the executive session?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I move we accept recommendations, superintendent's recommendations on employee matters.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Wingard, second by Mr. Lawson, that we approve the superintendent recommendation on employee matters. Are we ready for discussion? Are we ready for question? All in favor state aye. Ayes have it, and it is approved, Dr. Johnson.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we release 2 students to the Sumter School District where they have a parent who is employed.
It's been moved by Mr. Land, second by Ms. Lemon, that we approve the release of 2 students to the Sumter School District. Are we ready for discussion? Are we ready for question? All in favor state aye.
Aye.
That request is approved, Dr. Johnson.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we remand 2 grievances to the superintendent for consideration.
Who's second? It's been moved by Mr. Land, second by Mr. Hardy? Hardy, that we refer grievance to the superintendent. Are we ready for discussion? Are we ready for question? All in favor state aye. Aye. Ayes have it, and that has been approved. Board comments.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to address an issue that's very concerning to me. It's personal because it happened to me. I don't need any antibodies or any flowers or anything. I raised my hand 6 times in the United States Marine Corps to fight the front lines for this country. I was pronounced dead once. I have been critically injured. And someone had the audacity, I don't know who they are, and I don't know if they're present, but if you are, I'd like for you to stand up. I didn't duck anything. I didn't duck the graduations. I didn't duck the call board meetings. I don't know what happened. I was teaching Sunday school. I collapsed, fell into the pews, broke 2 ribs, bruised another one, and my shoulder was already in a sling because of my rotator's cuff fell. I don't run from nobody. I don't group up with nobody. Someone asked me about working under the table. I said, I build tables, but I don't work on them. I don't group up with people. All 9 of us sit here at this board, and all of us have our own conscience. All of us have our own agenda when it comes to making the decision that is pertinent to the people of this county, and I certainly do. I don't have a twin. My head is on my shoulders, and I think for myself. I don't need nobody else to think for me. So it was disturbing, but I learned to shake it off. If I can face a bullet on the front line from a foreign enemy, I can face the bullet on this board. And I'm injured. I'm not sick. Too sick to serve. I ain't too sick to do nothing. I want us to understand that. You call me, and I try to help you as much as I can. But if you call me, and you poke a hole in me or try to, just be ready to get a hole poked in you. So that's just the way it is. As far as the delegations go, they don't tell me who to vote for. I'm not going to listen to them. God gave me a heart. If Elijah can stand up to the 450 prophets of Baal, I'll definitely stand up to the people of Clarendon County. So I have a job to do. I sworn in to do it, and I'm going to do it. And nothing or nobody going to twist my hand or my thoughts. So I'm not angry, but believe you me, I can feel it throughout my entire body. I don't do nothing to group up against Dr. Johnson, Ms. Lemon, anyone who spoke in here tonight, anybody walk on those earth. If I have a problem with somebody, I'll go to that individual myself in peace and brotherly love. That's the only way I operate. Now, I stand my ground. I just want you to know that. I ain't backing down from nobody. I just want to make that clear, because I didn't like the phone calls that I got when I was in pain, because I wasn't saying, Lord, have mercy at the time. So I just want to make sure that it's clear. I'm not angry. It may sound hostile, but I'm not angry. Those are my comments, Mr. Chair.
Anyone else? Board comments? Anyone else?
Oh, yes, sir, I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman, I went to the 3 graduations on Friday. I want to commend Dr. Cummins and his staff at Scotch Branch, Ms. Fleming and her staff at East Clarendon, and Dr. Lemon at Manning High School. When I ran for this, people would say, why are you doing that? That's a thankless job. I say it's not a thankless job. I watched over 350 kids walk across a stage and get a high school diploma. Some of them even had their associate's degree through dual enrollment. So that is all the thanks I'll ever need, is seeing those students walk across that stage. I was proud of the school district. I was proud of every one of those children.
I concur with Mr. Land. That was beautiful. All 3 schools did a magnificent job. They were nice and cool. The students were very ready and prepared. I want to thank the educators for Clarendon County, and that we will continue to do things that promote our students for Clarendon County. All right.
I too agree. I'm not sure where people get their information from, but a lot of us was at those graduations, and I actually went to every one of the graduations I caught the kindergarten at the very end because I think we were here. But I worked my butt off to do what's right for children in this county and students and teachers. And if Mr. Johnson needs me to do anything, all he has to do is ask. I'm here for every one of these people. I represent them all. And I hugged every red, yellow, white, and black student I could possibly hug at every one of those graduations and enjoyed every moment of it. So I just want to make sure for the record that everyone knows that a lot of us was there and some couldn't make it, but we represented y'all, whoever couldn't make it at the time. But I enjoyed it.
All right.
I just want to say one more time that it was mentioned earlier, but shout out to that girls softball team. That's the first state championship since we had a consolidated, I think that's the first state championship since we have a consolidated district. A lot of hard work went into that. Coach Jason Newsom, maybe we can have him here one night, do something for him. But that's a big accomplishment.
Their rings will be ordered. Their rings will be ordered.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second. It has been moved and it has been seconded that this meeting be adjourned. Are you ready for discussion? Are you ready for question? All in favor state aye. Aye. This meeting is officially over.